Welcome to another episode of the Bludd Heart Podcast. So happy to have you guys today here with me. If you're listening to the YouTube version of the podcast, there's going to be timestamps in the description, as I'm going to have kind of well laid out sections in the video, in the audio recording. But yeah, welcome everybody. Today's going to be Diablo Season 23, 2.7.0 PTR talk. I'm going to go into some of the BlizzCon announcements that I haven't got a chance to talk to you guys about, like the Diablo 4 Rogue class and Diablo 2 Resurrection. Finally get the Diablo 2 remake. So sit back and enjoy. We got a nice show prepared for everybody. Let's start off by talking about Diablo 3. Now I have a dedicated video on the patch notes already, so you can go on the YouTube channel, check it out. It's like a 20-minute video going over every detail. I'm just going to talk about a few things on each subject today, just to kind of maybe give you a different perspective than what I had previously. If you don't know, the PTR comes out today. If you're watching this today, it's February 25th, 2021. I'm going to go live here shortly, and then we'll be on the PTR waiting room, just kind of waiting for the patch to go live. We don't have a patch time specifically. I'm on Pacific Standard Time, right? So sometimes it is 10 a.m. in the morning. Other times it can go live as late as, one time it went live at 6 p.m. So there's a huge range. My expectation is around noon my time, which would be 3 p.m. on the East Coast. If you don't know, we're getting a whole new follower system. It's not a seasonal theme. It's a brand new follower system implemented in the game. So your followers now have 14 items. They have your same 13 slots that you have on your character, plus like a relics, the Templar relic slot or whatever. So 14 total items, and you get legendary powers on us. There's like a list of legendary powers that you can get from them. So if you give them Broken Crown, for instance, let me bring it up here on the YouTube video, then you get the Broken Crown effect. If you give them homing pads, then you get the homing pad effect. Now, this is the first time they implemented something so crazy like this. So I would imagine the system would develop more over time. We get more powers. And just looking at the list, it seemingly looks like they want more utility-driven items, not just multipliers, right? Obviously, like no convention of elements or anything like that. It looks like just maybe utility stuff. So yeah, going forward, and for solo players, right, we're going to have like a little utility meat cube following us around, which is great. It's like a seasonal theme, but forever, so that's kind of cool to have in the game. I guess I'm just really excited to see how it's going to evolve over time, like what direction they go with everything. And one thing I would maybe call out the developers or whatever is every slot on the followers should have 2 options minimum. So one of the best examples of this would be bracers, right? Right now we can get the effect of Nemesis bracers, which is pretty insane for speed farming. For pushing, you get tons of value as well. Like if you get that Condi and then you have Nems to spawn the elites, then you get that extra progression. But like, let's say you add strong arms, right? And now you have 2 things to choose from, and it might make your decision making a little bit more thoughtful and more handcrafted for that build, right? Like a Piranha NATO doc might use strong arms. Maybe most classes would use strong arms, right? But it's nice to have that option. So I would think that each slot should have the 2 different options, just so there's more decision making there. But as of right now, it looks super awesome, and I can't wait to see again how it progresses. This should make T16 farming, bounty farming, even GR farming way more efficient for solo players. It gives you a big boost to everything. Having those NEMs like we talked about, that's just so much progression you're getting per hour just by having them for free. And then it frees up a bracer slot, so then you can use damage bracers or utility bracers like Warzeshian or something like that to get the movement speed now. It just gives us more options, more variety altogether. Another thing to note is as soon as you hit 70 and you max out your blacksmith, you can craft a sage set right away. And a lot of times I'll use it on my character, but now you can give it directly to your follower and you'll be getting those extra DBs right in from the jump, you know what I mean? So hit 70, max out your blacksmith, which we can usually do with the Challenger of Cash anyway. give the Sage set to your follower, and then boom, you're getting those double DBs, you're getting that more progression right out the gate. Obviously, you can add the Cane set to get a chance to get more keys, so that'll improve our key farming. As of right now, Ring of Royal Grandeur doesn't seem to work, but we're going to test it on stream today, and then I'll be able to report back to you guys with the findings. But, you know, like you can wear a Sage set and you can give a Cane set to your follower or vice versa that way. Speaking of the Cane set, another interesting thing I thought of is, you know, when you're leveling, you can kill an Odious Collector Goblin and they drop patterns, right? Crafting patterns at the blacksmith. Or like if you do bounties, like low level bounties, which I'm not advocating for, but if you were to do a set and you got the Cane set, maybe just like Act 1 bounties and you got the Cane set, in the 20s, you can, you know, craft it. The low level Cane set gives you a massive boost to XP pre-70. You can give that to your follower, and then now while you're leveling, you get an extra boosted like self power leveling, which is kind of cool. Like it just gives you more options, and you can see the whole leveling process is just a little bit more thought out, which I'm all about. I'm all about more min-maxing or thinking about what I'm doing. You could also give them Custarians. Custarians give you XP based on gold pickup. So you can see like this is a step in the right direction, and we're kind of see how this is gonna develop in the future. Another thing I would want to mention is if you are a solo player and if you want to see more solo player content, you have to play this patch. Even if you play an hour a day or whatever, you just stay logged in or let them know, because I'm pretty sure they have all the analytics, right? They have all the numbers for the average people that log in, you know, player retention, all that stuff. Like we have to show them that we like this, and they might maybe one day give us our SSF mode or solo self-found mode, or maybe they will give us more updates to the legendary powers, and they can kind of see that we're all about this lifestyle, and they'll give us patches accordingly. So love this feature. Good job, Blizz. Give me more of it. Yeah. So another thing that they added was player leaderboards based on sets. So there is going to be still a tier list, and there's still going to be an overall leaderboard for everybody. So you'll be able to see the normal leaderboard that you're used to. But now there's going to be other leaderboards. I hope they're other leaderboards and not filters. So for instance, to put it in perspective, Trighoul, right? It's kind of a bad Necromancer set. Trighoul is meta for the Trighoul leaderboard. It kind of blows your mind, right? Like it's like Frenzy Barb is the meta for the Frenzy Barb leaderboard. It's the best thing, right? So it really opens up the game a lot more to variety, and you can have fun and compete without really kind of being in the meta, right? Because you know the meta is just going to dominate your set, but not anymore. Now you have your own little space. I mean, nothing's there to stop, you know, people from farming 10,000 Paragon and getting rank 1 with every class. But most people won't do that. So you kind of have your own little space in the game, and you can kind of push on whatever build you want. Like, want to play Leap Click Barb or Seismic Slam. It's a little bit more competitive than before, where Whirlwind just dominates everything, for instance. I'm all about giving players more variety. And again, another great step in the right direction. I really just hope, like, I haven't had a chance to play it, and I'll probably know a lot more in a couple hours here when the PTR does go live. But I really hope it's not like a friend filter, or, you know, you can filter by a friend list, or you can filter by your clan or by your region. I hope it's not like that. I hope it's a legit leaderboard built into the game. You get the pop-ups and you get the satisfaction and everything like that. If it's just a filter, man, oh man, that's not the same thing. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll keep you guys posted, obviously. Expect more Diablo 3 videos as the PTR comes out today, like we've been talking about, and I'll have tons of build updates. The whole website's gonna get updated, everything like that. Let's talk about Diablo 2 Resurrected. Man, after years and years and years of rumors, of people trying to guess it, it finally got announced. Vicarious Visions or whatever remade Diablo 2 for everybody. It's $39.99 if you don't know. For the base game, it's going to be on console and PC, even on the Switch, so you can play Diablo 2 on the go. And the controller support is going to be on PC as well. I'm kind of curious to play, honestly, with a controller. If you want to know a little bit about me, the first time I ever played Diablo was, Diablo 1 on my PlayStation. I think my cousin let me borrow the game, or my neighbor. This was like 25 years ago, right? 26 years ago. And that's my first entry into the Diablo franchise. I used to stay up, grinding, playing, getting them uniques, looking for, I didn't know what I was doing. I barely remember it. The internet wasn't even what the internet is today. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how it plays on a controller for D2, especially like on the Switch, when I'm out and about in the world. So yeah, it's also going to have no microtransactions right now. There's nothing, no funny business. It's literally like the same game with an overlay of badass animations, graphics. It should feel exactly the same, which is good. They're also going to completely redo the cinematics. So you're going to see everything like you haven't seen it before. Now, I get a lot of questions on Diablo 2, so I'm glad I have a platform finally. I didn't make a video yet. Again, no video. I've been busy, but so this is kind of a nice way to answer some questions. People ask me, yo, Bludd, why do I have confidence in Blizzard since they dropped the ball on Warcraft 3? Like, Warcraft 3 kind of sucked bad. So why do you think Diablo 2 is going to be so good? I really think that they're going to crush it because this is a different team. Like, you can't really judge a different team. It's not their fault, right? Different team. And this team made Tony Hawk. I don't know if you played the remake of Tony Hawk recently. We did stream it. I didn't care about DMCA. I was playing all the old music and everything. It was great, man. Honestly, they crushed it. A really good job. It had the same feel as Tony Hawk. The graphics are really well done. So it gives me a lot of hope for Diablo 2 as well. If you haven't had a chance to check out Tony Hawk, I think I played it on Epic. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but I also get asked all the time, Bludd, will you play this game? You know, it's not Diablo 3 and all that stuff. And 100% yes, I will play it, stream it. If you're on YouTube, I'm definitely going to do a Let's Play on the channel. If everything is good, running properly, I can see myself playing every ladder reset, you know, barring D4 alpha not being out or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, as long as there's nothing else going on, like I want to do more, I'm definitely going to be playing it. And I'll be playing it alongside you guys, and you can play alongside me on YouTube or on stream. Another question I get is, Mr. Shed, what class will you main? And if you don't know about me, I played Barb and Sork back in the day, mostly. Even in D3, from D1, D2, and D3, I've been mostly Barb and Sork, but I will probably play Amazon or Assassin just because they're different, you know, from what we've been playing. And yeah, I'm excited about that. They also added some features like auto gold pickup that you can toggle on or off. You can also toggle off the new graphics and the old graphics. And I think there's like a shared stash base as well. So a lot of information, right? And I probably should have a time to do dedicated videos on all this, but you get the gist of it, right? It's going to be, you should watch the video too. It's like old Diablo 2, but with newer graphics. It looks really great. Everything even looks like it's running properly. They even kept a lot of the old bugs in the game on purpose to really drive home, like, this is a game that people have played over 20 years. And I'm really excited for the future. You know, I'm excited to bounce between Diablo 3 season, a Diablo 2 ladder reset, Diablo Immortal season, whatever, ladder reset, whatever it's going to be called. I'm really excited to have multiple games to play. And that kind of brings me to another topic that no franchise might not ever have this in existence. Like, there might not be, I mean, maybe you guys can do your due diligence and let me know. There might not be a time in history where one franchise gets so many games that are so similar in such a short time span. Like, in about 2 years, we're getting Diablo 4, which is our next gen Diablo game. We're getting Diablo 2 Resurrected, you know, rebuilt. It looks amazing. And we're getting Diablo Immortal, right? So that's 3 games that are very similar. The 3 ARPGs on 3 different systems. I guess, well, you know, D2's on all the systems, but yeah, 3 different ARPGs from the same exact franchise. We went from being deprived for years and years, man, to be getting 3 games. So that's pretty insane. And to get that, this is a special time, I think, in our history, our Diablos and sisters out there. So I'm jazzed. I can't wait to bounce around between all the games and play everything. All right, let's talk about Diablo 4 announcements at BlizzCon and how everything went. And So the Rogue, they announced the Rogue class, and the Rogue I predicted. Right after BlizzCon 2019, I made a video and I said what classes are going to be in the game. And then for the last, year and a half or whatever, I've been saying we're going to get the Rogue. But honestly, it blew away all my expectations. I also sometimes say Assassin instead of Rogue. I don't know why I keep mixing these classes up, but so if I have said it, then forgive me. I always say things that are wrong. I'm not perfect, but yeah, it blew away all my expectations. I like that she's not just a pretty face. I mean, she looks like war-torn, like she's been through some stuff. If you watch the trailer, you look at the portrait, she looks like she's a fighter, a scrapper, like she lives in the world of Sanctuary. She's fighting demons on the daily. And I love that, man. She reminds me of Cassandra from Assassin's Creed. And that's a good thing. I love Assassin's Creed, man. So shout out to the sisterhood looking badass. This I will do a dedicated video at some point. Again, I've just been so strapped lately. I've just been so busy. So yeah, Blizzard did a good job with the aesthetics of the Rogue. In terms of gameplay, I mean, the gameplay is insane, man. It's a mix of ranged and melee, if you guys don't know. You're like dashing in, dashing out. You're looking at the battlefield, planning your attack. It looks incredibly smooth. I didn't get a chance to play it, right? But I did play Diablo 4 in 2019, and the Druid and the Sork and the Barb all run really smooth and they play well. So I'm assuming that this is only going to be even better since it's more of a quick attacking type character. It's only going to be better. And then in PvP, they said like she has some crowd control. So it might be a dynamic PvP class as well. So I'm really excited. If the game went live today, I definitely would main Rogue. Normally I would say Sork, but just based on what I've seen, I think it's really flashy without being over dynamic or over dramatic also. Like it's not like super anime, it just looks cool. The whole character just looks dynamic in general. The cinematic was great. They also showed off ears in the cinematic, which is basically PvP, right? If you didn't play Diablo 2, ears, or like you collect ears when you kill someone in battle, like PvP. And ears are like a trophy. So like if people were saying in chat, Blood, we're going to kill you and sell your ears on eBay. So I'm a little scared to go into the PvP zones. No, it'll be fun. Yeah, so like it says like, it'll be like, Bloodshed's ear, and it'll say hardcore, it'll say the level of the class, and then D4 might give you even more info, like where, location, I don't know. So yeah, I think they're just mostly trophies in D2. I don't know what they're going to be in D4, maybe trophies, maybe currency. I'm not sure what they're going to do with it, but it's basically confirming that ears are back, which is kind of dope. I mean, if you kill someone in hardcore and you have their ear, that's like you legit killed them and you erase their character. So that's be kind of dope to actually collect your real kills, like your hardcore kills. In terms of other content, we didn't get too much announced. We got some talk here and there, but Diablo 4 has been giving us quarterly updates, quarterly blogs on info drops. So we have learned a lot about the game over the course of the last year or so, and we're going to continue to get blogs. And I think that's maybe where a lot of the little bits of information, where normally at BlizzCon there's panels for hour-long panel where they talk about everything. This time it was like they showed us only the cool stuff. It was BlizzCon Line. It was a different type of convention too. So I think that the blogs will cover like the little details, and I'm excited for the next blog to learn more about the game. In terms of Diablo Immortal, I got to do a panel with the two lead developers, and that was a lot of fun. It was mostly like we sit back and just talk about our alpha time, since not everybody got to play alpha, So it was a fun experience to be able to be on BlizzCon. That's my second time being on BlizzCon. The other time we did a panel, like a Living Blizzard panel. And Trump, I was on a panel with Trump and Munition, Day 9. It was cool, man. Garrett from StarCraft, I believe. So that was a really great experience back in, I think, 2017. And then 2018 and 2019, we streamed from the convention. So I think this is my fourth time being on BlizzCon, and then fifth time being there. I guess I wasn't there, but yeah, nobody went to BlizzCon this year, but I was actually on there in a different way. So I was happy to be a part of it. It was a great experience. Just, practice, I guess, being straight in front of the camera, being professional, asking questions. I asked a ton of questions. Not everything they used, right? It was like a lot of questions. Like I asked all kinds of stuff about microtransactions, PvP, like release dates, everything, but they didn't answer everything. Of course, like no company is going to do that. About PvP though, one thing that they didn't tell me, and they released on day 2, was they have plans for mass scale PvP, like guild versus guild in Immortal. And that sounds amazing. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with it. They kind of even alluded to like rankings, like an arena rank, I think. So I'm not sure. This is all just like has no details, but Wyatt did confirm mass scale PvP 2 times at BlizzCon. So that's basically coming. They also talked about TBC, Burning Crusade. Burning Crusade got announced. Leveling a rogue. It's funny, Diablo 4 rogue and then rogue. Yeah, I'm leveling a rogue ahead of time just to have it ready for whenever TBC comes out. Hopefully, Blizz. Hopefully we don't get TBC release. When there's like Immortal Alpha, and you know what I mean, D4 Alpha, D2. There's all these Diablo games coming out. So the odds of me getting TBC released when nothing else is out is probably rare, but it would be nice to be able to play all these games, because we do go with droughts for like 2 or 3 months with nothing. So hopefully, and then after Diablo's 3 seasons, man, it's gonna be a busy year. I guess going forward, it's gonna be busy for me as well. So I'll be playing an Alliance Rogue, mostly because the queue times for Horde suck on PvP. I'm more of a PvP player, and I have a Horde Mage I played in Classic, and the damn queue times were so long, man. Like it was like 20 to 30 minute queue times at 70 or 60, sorry. And I don't want that anymore. I want to log in and play. It's my time. My time is valuable. So I'm going to be a Horde player with a human skin. That sounds really weird. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if it felt a little bit rushed. Again, my schedule has been time crunched lately, trying to fit in everything. Today's going to be a huge day. We got the PTR coming out, and I'm going to be testing everything, updating literally every build. Every build's going to have to change from having a cube mechanic going back to a non-cube theme. So I'm going to be really busy making builds on my website and everything like that. I'll see you guys live. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and have a good week. Peace out.